Shalom and good day all, this is Healing29 back again for another indie comic review, and in this indie comic review I'll be reviewing Jesus Orellana's Juvenile, issue 1 and issue 2. For this, this will no doubt be put away as sort of like a bit of a backup video of sorts, in case I don't have something that go out throughout the week. This is one of those videos. So, moving into first things first, do these covers in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give cover 1, which is on the left hand side, a 7.5 out of 10, and also cover 2, a 7.5 out of 10. I do like that these are actually indie comics, written by new comic creators, and it's also going to be interesting to see how this story will continue in the next upcoming months. Should I decide to follow it further, or maybe even choose to pick up the trade paperback. I'll now get things ready to cover the first issue, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what the art is like in both issues. So as the story begins, this seems to take place in an asylum of sorts, and we get to see the nurses and the patients and also what's happening inside of the story. We learn that there is one of the nurses called Miss Gillespie, and we also learn of some of the names of the younger patients that are here. So we learned that whilst they're here, they still get some form of education of sorts. We've also got a bit of an understanding that maybe something has also happened in the outside world, but we're not completely sure what it is. Or there's some hints as to what it might be, but it doesn't mean it is actually what we're being told it is. And last but not least, towards the end of the first issue, to which we learn that one of the characters manages to wake up from a dream of sorts. We also learn that these characters do tend to take quite a bit of medication. So as we start to move into the second issue, we see some of the things that are taking place there. This still feels like the same day that's taking place that was in the first issue, and we haven't quite moved yet into the next day. We get to see some of the patients these characters involved in some exercises, so they're not too bored with what is actually happening here. And last but not least, towards the end, to which there's a bit of kerfuffle happening with some of the characters that are in here, whether they're trying to get more medication or even hide medication so that they can come back to it later. So for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the story. First is the area of time, to which we learned that this story takes place 21 years ago in the past, and this is sort of like a recollection of some of the things that happened in their life. The location, it comes across and feels like an asylum for people who are dealing with mental issues, whatever else. But we do learn, like from the first issue, maybe there's actually something more happening as to why these characters are actually in here. The cast of characters consisting of Miss Gillespie, Marcus, Zoe, Ella, Tyler, Mr. Holden, Max, and last but not least, a character known as Sarah. The overall story rating for this I give is a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.